This video will work through problem 14.2 from Gapenski's Healthcare Finance 6th edition. In problem 14.2, we are presented with two projects. Both projects have a investment cost of 1.5 million. So our cash flow is a negative 1.5 million for both at year zero, or time zero. And then you can see A goes end of year one has a $500,000 inflow, year two a $1,000 inflow, and then year three a $2,000 inflow. So the payback, just kind of eyeballing this, the payback for project A is at the end of year two, because at the beginning of at the end of year one, we've earned 500. At the end of year two, we've earned a cumulative 1,500, which is the initial investment. So in year three, project A is earning profit. Under project B, we make that $1,500 investment, and then in year one, we earn $2,000, a $2,000 cash flow, which pays back the entire initial investment. So basically, the payback period for A is 2 years. The payback period for B is 9 months. So just knowing that, and then looking at, knowing that, you're probably going to start to already favor B. But then looking at the structure of the cash flows, you can see that they're basically inverted in order. Project A gets 500, 1,000, 2,000. Project B gets 2,000, 1,000, 600. So there's a small difference in the third, in between 500 and 600, but the 2,000 and 1,000 are the same. So coupling the fact that basically the total cash flows are almost the same, but B gets its payback in the first year, you're going to kind of have an intuition that B is the better investment, that it returns a higher value. Okay, so the first problem asks us to calculate the IRR, and then the second problem asks us to calculate the NPV for a number of different discount rates. I'm going to kind of mix and match here a bit. I'm going to go ahead and calculate the IRR for A and then all the NPVs for A, and then I'll calculate B and all the NPVs for B, because I'm going to use my cash flow register and my calculator to do that, and it's just quicker not to redo the cash flow register each time. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have cleared your cash flow register, and then we can start entering our information. So cash flow zero, or the cash flow at time zero, is going to be negative 1,500. You hit enter, then scroll down. The cash flow at time one is 500. Hit enter, scroll down, and our FO1, which is asking frequency, right, is just one time, so we're good. So we scroll down to 2. The cash flow at time 2 is 1,000. Hit enter, scroll down, 1 time, so F02 is 1, and then C03 is 2,000. Hit enter, F03 is 1, so we're good. So now we should be able to hit IRR and compute, and we get 43.968, or roughly an IRR of 44%. Next, it asks for the NPV at 5, 10, and 15%. So let's just do those, each of those. NPV 5%, NPV 10%, and NPV 15%. So to calculate the NPV, we can use our cash flow register again. We go to NPV. It asks us, okay, it asks what's the I, and the I is the discount rate. So we start with an I of 5%, hit enter, scroll down, hit compute, and we get 1611 for a NPV of 5%. And then we can go back to NPV again, change the I from 5 to 10, hit enter, scroll down, hit compute again, and we get an NPV of 1,283. 84, we could say. And then we go back to the NPV button again, change it to 15%, hit enter, scroll down, hit compute, and we get 1006. Okay, so those are our IRR and our three NPVs for project A. So let's clear that. We go to the cash flow, hit second, and clear work. So now our cash flows are cleared. Let's do B. B starts with a $1,500 investment. Hit enter, scroll down. This first year is a $2,000 return. Enter, scroll down. 1,000, enter, scroll down to 3, 600,000, enter, and that's it. We're good. So then we hit IRR, compute, and we get an IRR of 82%. Our NPV at 5%. So we did ask us, okay, what's our I? So let's start with an I of 5%, hit enter, compute the NPV, we get 1,830. Go back to the NPV, reset it to 10, hit enter, compute, 15,905. And then set it to 15, hit enter, scroll down, compute, 138.9. It's 97, so this could be like 1390, and it's we're 30 cents off. Okay, so let's compare. So I said a minute ago that B looked like the better investment. So yep, it sure is. The IRR for B is 82%, whereas the IRR for A is 44%. And that again goes to, it's not the total amount of return here is 2,500 versus 2,600. So it's not that B returns $100 or $100,000 more over the life of the investment. It's really the order of the returns that makes all the difference here. The fact that B gets so much more cash early on in the 3-year cycle than A does. That's really what does it. And then we go down here, and again, this repeats itself as you would expect because of the difference in the IRRs. The results are, and so as you increase NPV, you would expect, as you increase the discount rate, you would expect to see NPVs decreasing because you are holding a higher threshold for doing the project. And so increasing the discount rate reduces the future value of the cash flows. So when you apply a 15% discount rate to $2,000 over 3 years, that's much more dramatic than if you apply a 5% discount over 3 years. So as you would expect, the NPVs decrease over time, but Project A, under each of these circumstances, Project A comes out ahead. So, so that is the answer to problem 14.2 A and B, just a little bit out of order. We could do this same thing in Excel. You just use the IRR function here, and then you'd calculate the individual NPVs. I could do that real quick. Let's do that just for fun. So get a fresh sheet here. Okay, so I've put the cash flows onto Excel. So to calculate IRR, it's really easy. You just punch in IRR, and you highlight the column, and there's your IRR. I'm just going to copy this across. So we have, the formula for IRR is just IRR. For NPV, a little more complicated because the NPV function is actually the present value function for a set of cash flows. So we're going to type equals and then hit the initial investment, and I'm going to hit F4 here to lock my reference to the initial investment, and then I'm going to add the NPV function, And I'm going to put over here, I didn't do it yet, but I'm going to put over here the discount rate that we're going to use for each of these lines. So that right now that's going to be 0, but I'll fix it in a second. And then I hit the 3 cash flows, close that out. And so right now it's not discounting anything or at any amount. So I'm going to give it a 5% discount rate. Okay. And so that one is for, then let's give it a 10% discount rate and a 15% discount rate. And then we should be able to just copy this down. And something's going wrong. I've got something in there wrong. What did I do wrong? I didn't lock the reference to the set of entries. So fix that. Fix that. There we go. And now we have matching outcomes from when I did it with the calculator. Let's do same thing for project B. So equals the initial investment plus the NPV using the discount rate and the set of cash flows. And I'm going to lock the reference this time, not make that same mistake. And so we get 1830, and then I should be able to just drag that down. And we get the same, as you can see, the same outcomes as I did when I got my, used my calculator. So that's how you would do it in Excel.